Settle in close because what we're about to talk about isn't just history or some dusty old scripture. This is about blood and spirit, about ancient warnings that whisper through time, reaching for us right here, right now. Forget the easy answers, the comforting stories that make everything neat and tidy. Today we're prying open a forgotten chapter, a revelation so profound it'll make the hair on your arms stand up, and the world you thought you knew, well, it's going to look a whole lot different by the time we're done. We're going to talk about Enoch and his angels. And then we're going to shatter a deception, a powerful illusion that has gripped millions, leaving them blind to a truth that echoes from the very foundations of the earth. We're going to talk about the Left Behind, not as a catchy series of books but as a chilling ancient reality. And the connection between these two things, my friends, is absolutely vital. It's a connection that holds the key to understanding everything. Imagine a world long before the flood. Not just a world of simple folk and farming, but a world where the veil between heaven and earth was thin, almost transparent. A world where beings of immense power, creatures of light and shadow, walked among men. These weren't just figures in a myth, they were real. And their presence changed everything. The Book of Enoch, a text revered in ancient Christian communities, especially in Ethiopia, paints a picture far more vivid and disturbing than anything you've likely heard in Sunday school. It speaks of the Watchers. Not just any angels, but a specific group, dispatched by God to observe humanity. But they did more than observe. They lusted, they coveted, and they descended. Enoch tells us plainly that 200 of these powerful, celestial beings came down to Mount Hermon. They swore an oath, a binding pact that they would take human wives. And they did. This wasn't some gentle, romantic encounter. This was a violation. A catastrophic breach of cosmic order. Now pause and really feel that. Think about the implications. Divine beings stepping outside their assigned roles, mixing their essence with humanity. The result? A monstrous offspring. The Nephilim. Giants. Not just physically massive, but beings of immense strength and insatiable appetite, born of unnatural union. Their very existence was a perversion, a cosmic scar on the face of the earth. But it wasn't just physical corruption. Enoch reveals something far more insidious. These Watchers, these fallen angels, didn't just procreate. They taught. They revealed forbidden knowledge to humanity. Knowledge of metallurgy, of weapons, of sorcery, of astrology, of cosmetics, of abortion, of roots and cutting of trees, of making mirrors, of medicine. Think about that list. Many of these things in themselves aren't inherently evil. But in the hands of a fallen world, guided by fallen beings, they became instruments of destruction, vanity, and rebellion against the Creator. They unveiled the secrets of heaven and earth that were not meant for human hands, not yet, not in that corrupt state. They polluted minds, twisted hearts, and guided humanity down a path of increasing wickedness and violence. The earth itself cried out. The innocent blood shed by the Nephilim and the corrupted humans under the Watchers' tutelage ascended to heaven, pleading for justice. This, my friends, is the terrifying backdrop to the flood. It wasn't just about human sin in general terms. It was about a specific, catastrophic corruption of humanity and the earth by these fallen angels. God didn't just send the flood because people were generally naughty. He sent it to cleanse a world that had become utterly defiled, genetically and spiritually, beyond recognition. He sent it to erase the stain of the Watchers and their monstrous offspring. And what happened to these Watchers? Enoch tells us, they were judged. Imprisoned in the depths of the earth, in dark, eternal chains, awaiting a final, ultimate judgment. They are bound, yes. But Enoch also hints, powerfully, chillingly, at their eventual release, or at least a final, intensified period of their influence before the absolute end. Now hold that thought. The Watchers, their corruption, their forbidden knowledge, their eventual binding, and the hint of their return. Keep it simmering. Because now we turn our gaze to a concept that has captivated millions, fueled countless books and movies, and become a cornerstone of modern prophecy in certain circles: the Left Behind. For many, the Left Behind refers to a specific theological event, the rapture. The idea that at a predetermined moment true believers will be snatched away, instantly ascending to heaven, while the rest of humanity is left behind to face a period of intense tribulation, overseen by an Antichrist. It's a comforting thought for those who believe they will be taken, a terrifying thought for those who fear they won't, and a hugely impactful narrative that shapes how millions view the end of days. But what if this narrative, as popularly understood, is a deception? What if the imagery, the timing, and the very mechanics of being taken or left behind are subtly yet powerfully misdirected? What if Enoch's angels, the Watchers, hold a chilling key to understanding this particular brand of disappearance? Let's look at the popular left behind scenario. People vanish. Cars crash. Planes fall from the sky. Chaos ensues. The world is plunged into confusion, searching for answers. And then a powerful, charismatic leader emerges, promising peace and order. He explains the disappearances. Perhaps he attributes them to aliens or a mass transcendence, or some other palatable, non-divine explanation. He unites the world, ushers in a new era. Now let's go back to Enoch, to the Watchers, to their forbidden knowledge, to their power of deception. Imagine for a moment, if powerful celestial beings could descend, interact, and fundamentally alter humanity in the past, what makes us think they couldn't do it again? Or, perhaps more precisely, what if the ancient playbook for deception is dusted off and reused, but with a modern twist? Enoch speaks of a time when the corruption of the earth will reach its peak again, mirroring the days before the flood. He speaks of a final period of intense spiritual warfare, of deceptions that will mislead even the elect, if it were possible. The New Testament, too, warns of lying signs and wonders, of strong delusions sent to those who refuse to love the truth. What if the rapture, as commonly portrayed, is a masterful, celestial-level illusion? What if the taking away isn't a divine retrieval but a cosmic kidnapping? What if the beings responsible for the disappearance aren't Christ's angels gathering his elect, but a sophisticated, ancient, and immensely powerful deception orchestrated by the very entities Enoch warned us about? Think about it. If millions of people suddenly vanished, the world would demand an explanation. And what better explanation for a global, non-believing world than something that aligns with secular or even New Age paradigms? Alien abductions. A higher evolutionary jump. A planetary cleansing by benevolent extraterrestrials. It sounds outlandish, but wouldn't that be precisely the kind of lying sign and wonder that could deceive a world unwilling to embrace biblical truth? The Watchers, remember, taught humanity forbidden knowledge. They are masters of illusion, of manipulating the physical world, of influencing minds. They have an ancient grudge against humanity, against God's plan. And they are awaiting their final judgment. What better way to sow maximum chaos, to undermine faith, and to solidify their dominion for a brief final period, than to orchestrate a global event that looks like a divine taking, but is actually a diabolical deception? This perspective doesn't deny the ultimate return of Christ. It doesn't deny the gathering of the elect. But it profoundly recontextualizes how that gathering occurs, and what happens to those who are left behind. The true left behind, in this chilling interpretation, might be those who think they've been taken. They are taken, yes, but not to the place they imagine. And the ones truly left behind on earth in this scenario are the faithful remnants, those who discern the deception, those who refuse to be swayed by the grand illusion, and who must then face the intensified tribulation that follows. This turns the popular narrative on its head, doesn't it? It means that the very event many Christians eagerly await as their escape ticket could be transformed into the ultimate deception, designed to remove those who might resist the coming Antichrist system, or at least sow utter confusion and despair among them. The biblical accounts of Christ's return are quite clear. Every eye will see him. It is a visible, undeniable, globally witnessed event. It is not a secret snatching. The clouds, the trumpets, the glory, these are not quiet disappearances. They are cosmic spectacles. So, if there is a sudden disappearance of millions and it doesn't align with Christ's visible return, then we have to ask, who is doing the taking? And what is their agenda? Enoch's angels give us a terrifying answer. The comfort of the rapture doctrine for many is the idea of escaping tribulation. But what if the true test of faith, the ultimate proving ground, is precisely through that tribulation? What if being left behind in the popular sense is actually the moment the truly faithful are called to stand firm, to expose the deception, and to shine brightest in the deepest darkness? This isn't to instill fear, but rather to awaken, to sharpen our discernment, to encourage us to scrutinize every teaching, every prophecy, against the full ancient counsel of God's Word, including those often overlooked texts like Enoch that offer crucial missing pieces to the prophetic puzzle. The supernaturally cozy part of this, you might be wondering? It lies in the profound comfort of knowing the full truth. It's not a cozy comfort that lulls you into complacency, but a robust, spiritual coziness that strengthens you in the face of deception. When you understand the ancient enemy's tactics, when you know the playbook of Enoch's angels, then you can't be easily swayed. You become a discerning, vigilant warrior, standing firm on solid ground, even as the world around you succumbs to elaborate illusions. This knowledge anchors you. It roots you in a deeper understanding of God's sovereignty, even over the machinations of fallen beings. It reminds you that evil has a leash and its timeline is finite. And it empowers you to pray, to intercede, and to prepare not for an escape, but for endurance and triumph through the challenging times. The Watchers, bound in chains, still cast a long shadow. Their ancient influence, their knowledge of deception lingers. And the enemy, the great deceiver, is a master of mimicry. He doesn't invent new tricks. He repackages old ones, making them palatable for a new generation. The idea of a silent, invisible taking is precisely the kind of event that would create the perfect vacuum for a global leader, an Antichrist figure, to step in and offer his own explanation, his own brand of salvation, to the bewildered masses. He could point to the disappearances as proof of a new age, a necessary cleansing, preparing the world for his false peace. This perspective urges us to reread the New Testament warnings about deception with fresh eyes. Jesus didn't warn us that the end times would be easy to understand. He warned us about being led astray. He spoke of wolves in sheep's clothing. He spoke of signs and wonders performed by false prophets so convincing that they would deceive many. What greater deception could there be than an event that looks like divine intervention, but is actually a trap? An event that promises escape, but delivers something far more sinister? The Ethiopian Bible, through the voice of Enoch, pulls back the curtain on the original playbook of rebellion and deception. It shows us that celestial interference, the mixing of realms, the manipulation of humanity through forbidden knowledge, these are not new phenomena. They are ancient, and they carry ancient consequences. So, as we observe the world around us with its increasing chaos, its spiritual confusion, its hunger for quick answers and easy escapes, let us hold fast to the full, unvarnished truth. Let us not be swayed by comforting narratives that may actually be subtle traps. Let the whispers of Enoch's angels remind us of the ancient power of deception. Let their story serve as a cosmic alarm bell. And let the true meaning of being left behind, not as a curse, but as a calling to stand firm in the final crucible, be our anchor. The true comfort, the real, supernaturally cozy embrace, comes from knowing that God is not surprised. He has laid out the warnings. He has provided the discernment. And for those with ears to hear and eyes to see, the ancient texts, like the Book of Enoch, illuminate the path through the shadows, guiding us past the deceptions and towards the unwavering light of truth. The real question isn't whether people will be taken. It's who will be doing the taking and where they will be taken. And Enoch, from the depths of forgotten time, offers a chilling, vital warning that we cannot afford to ignore. We are living in days where ancient deceptions are being reactivated. And understanding the story of Enoch's angels might just be the most important piece of spiritual armor you can ever possess. Embrace the full truth. Be prepared not to escape but to overcome. What do you think about this video? Let us know in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video and want more of this, please subscribe. And turn on the notification bell to be notified when a new video is released.